What's up, everyone? King of Cobra 73 here, back again with the Tulsa Dynasty on College Football 25. Today is Senior Day. Coach Brandon Perkins has his team in a good spot in his first year. His team comes in at 6-5, finally becoming bowl eligible after dominating USF last week. And they take on a team that wants to become bowl eligible, the Florida Atlantic Owls. This is the last time some of these seniors will play at H.A. Chapman Field. And we're starting off the game with FAU, and that's a handoff to the running back, George Johnson. Francher making some adjustments back in the Francher's going to keep it himself. Francher going to try to go for the first time, but he fumbled the ball. Francher fumbled the ball. That is C.J. Turner that forced the fumble, and Dane Hodge picks it up. And Tulsa is on offense. Just a pretty good ball play from C.J. Turner. C.J. Turner punches that out of Cam Francher's arm. Francher was trying to go for it there, trying to get the first down, fighting for yards. However, not successful as Kirk Francis throws it across his body to Camden Benjamin for the first down. Francis back to pass again. Francis looking left. Francis finds Camden Benjamin once again for a good gain. First and goal now. Ball on the 1 yard field. 1 yard line. And that's going to be a walk-in touchdown by Anthony Watkins. Tulsa making it look easy on the senior day. First touchdown of the game for the senior running back. And look at his team celebrating with him, as he is in H.A. Chapman for the last time. Francher back to pass. Francher finds his man. Oh, it's punched out. And now that brings up 3rd and 7 for the Hurricanes. And they're going to get the first down to Camden Benjamin, the senior. Also playing his last game in H.A. Chapman Field. Francis back to pass. Francis looking left-hand side. He finds Ethan Hall there. Excuse me, right-hand side on that play. And it's going to be a handoff to Watkins again. Watkins going up the middle of the field for a gain of 8 for Watkins. 2nd and 2 now coming up. Francis intercepted. Francis is intercepted, and this looks like a house call for Day Hill. Touchdown Owls. 86 yards, and the struggles for Kirk Francis and the offense continue. Kirk Francis in the last 2 weeks has thrown a total of 7 interceptions. Make that 8, as Kirk Francis has been clean of interceptions pretty much all year, and he throws one right here. Brandon Perkins and the offense have to do something, have to calm Kirk Francis down. They have to figure out what they can do to help him calm down. Francis back out on the field. It's 3rd and 8. Ball on 27. Watkins to his right. Francis finding an open man. That's Camden Benjamin in the middle of the field. So far, he has 4 catches for 58 yards. 2nd and 13. Play action. Watkins looking for the right-hand side of the field. Finds his other receiver, Jeremiah Ballard, for a big first down. 1st and 15 after a false start. And it's going to be Ballard on a screen play here. And that brings Francis over 100 yards of the day. Francis play action again, and missing his man there. Ballard tried to stretch out for it, but unsuccessful there. And that's a batted away by the defender, and Tulsa adds on 3. And that's going to be a quick pass there from Francher. And there's going to be a shovel now. Francher, and there's a flag on this play. I believe that was Marlon Johnson on that play. As we end the first quarter 10-7, and as you can see stats here, FAU, not a lot going on for them. However, Francher trying to move his team on the field, has a man open, and that was dropped. He had a man open, and they just dropped it. They may be still running. 2nd and 4 now, and it's going to be Braylon Presley on the catch, as Francis trying to move his team down the field, finding Jeremiah Ballard up the middle of the field. 5 catches and 53 yards for him on today. Francis back to pass. Francis running in the pocket. Francis might have to throw it out of the way, but he's going to take a sack from Marlon Brady on that one. Francis with the screenplay. And oh my goodness. What a block there. And Tulsa adds on another 3. As Francher looking to hand this off. That's the running back Johnson on the play. Johnson the 3rd. Francher back to pass again. Francher looking left. Finds his man. That's Marlin again. And that'd be a first down as they're running back now. That's Johnson on the carry. Only gets 1. Francher back to pass. The left hand, the quarterback. Looking for a man, but unable to find someone there. And Francher going down and sacked. Miles Jackson and Owen Ostrowski meet at the quarterback, and Francher a little slow to get up on that one. Miles Jackson's being double teamed on that one. Jackson makes first contact. Owen Ostrowski helps clean it up for him. He was being sacked either way. Hand off to Bill Jackson now. As they're trying to get Bill Jackson more involved in the offense. He's still out there on this 3rd down, and Camden Benjamin coming over on a slant. Wide open. 1st and 10 now coming up for the offense play action now. Francis finding another man wide open. That's Matthew Agunren, the freshman, redshirted freshman receiver. Oh, Tulsa fans are excited about Agunren on the play. And Francis tried to step him to the pocket, but he gets sacked on that one. 2nd and goal coming up for the offense. Francis back to pass. Francis finds his man in the end zone. No. Watkins dropped it last second. Good defense on that one. Francis intercepted again. I'm not sure where he was throwing that one at. Kirk Francis and offense turn it over once again. And now it's FAU trying to move the ball down the field. 2nd and 7 now coming up. Francher back to pass. Francher looking for his man, and that's caught. I believe that was CJ on the catch that time. And Francher back to pass. Francher in trouble here. Francher taken down and sacked by a whole bunch of Tulsa defenders, and he's holding onto his side. And that's another, I think that was the tight end on that play, who they handed it off to. 2nd and 10 coming up, and just a quicken pass in the flats. Well, over on the drag to Ballard, and that's a curl route for Benjamin. I'm not sure if they're going to count it as a catch. They will not. Francis back to pass. Francis has a man going deep. Camden Benjamin on the catch. Deep ball. They've been looking for that deep ball throw all year, and they finally connect on it on senior day, extending the lead to 20-7. The senior finally, Kirk Francis able to get that ball connected with Camden Benjamin on the year. Better late than never, right? And oh my goodness, Von Troy Malone on the second. There's a lot of Tulsa fans excited for him too. Wanted to see a lot more of Von Troy Malone this year. Owen Ostrowski and Miles Jackson have been playing the edge rushers this year, and honestly, they've been playing very, very well. So there was no need to play Von Troy Malone. However, I think next year, even with Owen Ostrowski still being here, as he's a junior this year, I do believe, I mean, that's if Owen Ostrowski decides not to go pro. I think there's lots of opportunities for Von Troy Malone to play on both sides, and maybe even line him up into the middle of the field. I know Coach Brandon Perkins was talking about how they have all these different rushers and how they want to line them up differently. Now going for the deep ball again, picked off by Day Hill, and this time Hill not able to return it for a touchdown. Handoff, no. Look at Von Troy Malone once again. Another sack for Von Troy Malone. Taking down Francher like nothing. 3rd and 21 coming up for, oh my goodness. They've thrown a screen there real quickly as Devontae Streets, who's replacing Gavin Potter, has come into the game. And that's a quick catch and throw by Zion Steptoe, another receiver that I wanted to see more of this year, but we just couldn't, as Jeremiah Ballard receives that pass. And that's Watkins on the left-hand side. Watkins getting the first down. Francis driving this team down the field again. Looking for a man, batted away, and almost intercepted again. Almost his 4th interception of the game. However, Jackson stepping out left-hand side with a juke. Touchdown, Tulsa. Bill Jackson. What a play from Bill Jackson. Keeping it to the outside, bouncing it back to the outside, keeping his balance, and getting into the end zone. That's going to be our #1 running back next year, and extending the lead to 27-10. 3rd and 3 now, as Rancher on the center. Rancher looking left, looking for the deep ball here, and it's batted. No, intercepted. Intercepted by New Campbell. And Campbell going left-hand side. Campbell to the 50. Campbell to the 45-yard line. New Campbell waving goodbye, telling the FAU fans to go home, as the storm has come and arrived here in Tulsa. And it's going to be Bill Jackson again. It looks like they're running Bill Jackson a lot more as I say that. Anthony Watkins checks back into the game. Francis back to pass. Francis, that's an ugly pass there from Francis. It harmlessly hits the ground. And that's going to be Johnson on the carry. 2nd and 1. Now coming up. And that's going to be Johnson on the catch there. Using him in every facet of the game that they can. They have another running back, Mobley's. I really like him. He's more of a speed back. Johnson, power back who can do it all. It's just how this team operates, though. And that's dumping it off to the tight end. Rancher looking for his man up the middle of the field. Good play there from Rancher. And now handoff. That's Mobley on the carry. Mobley not able to get much on the play. 2nd and 17, play action. Pump fake. Looking for a man, and he drops it last second. 3rd and 17 now. And a mile to go. Francher back to pass. Francher looking towards the end zone. And that's caught from Platt there on the touchdown. Platt came back to the ball and then is able to catch it. And now it's a 10-point game. Florida Atlantic is not dead yet. They're trying to stay in the game. And we have a 10-point game once again. Jason Platt on the play. That would be enough for us to enter the 4th quarter of football. 2nd and 3 now. Back to pass. And that's going to be Ethan Hall on the play. Ethan Hall with a first down. And Kirk Francis has passed over 300 yards on the day now. As Jack Wright gets the first down. Watkins back on the field again with the carry. Watkins going up middle of the field. Watkins again, middle of the field. Anthony Watkins cutting in the left-hand side for a big gain on the play. Francis looking for Braylon. No, sorry. Francis now looking underneath again for, that time he finds Jeremiah Ballard, who also goes over 100 yards for the day. Watkins looking to get into the end zone for the 2nd time today, not able to. Kirk Francis on a quarterback keeper. Kirk Francis gets down to the 1. And there's a play action there. Looking for Ballard. 3rd and goal. Francis keeping it again. Francis gets into the end zone. Kirk Francis gets into the end zone. Staying behind his offensive lineman and staying behind his blocker on the play. And Kirk Francis able to get into the end zone for a touchdown. Francher, back to pass. Francher looking, has all the time in the world, but everyone's covered. And here comes Platt coming back to the ball again. That's not Platt. I thought that was Platt again. Oh my goodness. Just wonderful play there from FAU. FAU is trying to stay in this as Johnson on the run, getting enough for the first down. Hand off Johnson again. Left hand side. Johnson has a lane open. First and 10 now. That's going to be Zubari Mobley. Mobley gets in the middle of the field. Mobley still in the game now. Frazier back to pass. Frazier going into the end zone looking for his man. Not able to. Intercepted by New Campbell for the second time. Looking for Johnson in the end zone, I believe. And it was intercepted for the second time by New Campbell. And it's still a 17-point lead for the Hurricanes. With 3 minutes remaining in the game, Tulsa can run this clock out. Just run the ball for the rest of the game, or just run it till you have to punt it once again. And that's exactly what they're going to do here on 3rd and 1. With Watkins to his right. And Anthony Watkins gets enough for the first down. And that is exactly how the game's going to end. They run the ball out. And Kirk Francis is going to kneel on the ball as Tulsa approves the 7-5. I didn't think this team was a 7-5. I didn't think this team was a 7-win team when we started this dynasty. I figured when I first started this dynasty, we were a 5-win team. I was thinking no, record could be reversed, 5-7, when we just missed bowl eligibility. And then as the season went on, I thought, maybe we can win 6 games. Maybe we can win 7 games. And then we lost 2 games in a row to UAB and ECU. Ended up 5-5, and I got worried. We dominated USF. Completely dominated USF. Completely destroyed USF. Which was honestly probably good for this team. Get that kind of experience for them. And now here we are, beating FAU 34-17. And now we are in bowl eligibility. We're in a bowl game. Who are we going to go against? I'm not sure. But Brandon Perkins and the Hurricanes in his first year as a coach, 7-5. And now we did that with a redshirt freshman at quarterback who did not have the best year. We know that. These last weeks throwing all those interceptions, I'm not sure what was going on. But we threw a bunch of interceptions these last few weeks. And from there, it just was not a good time, to be honest. I don't know where I went wrong. I think I was definitely making a lot of bad reads. A lot of dumb reads, to be honest. And some of them were just, honestly, I don't know what the game was thinking type of interceptions. Like, where did this guy type things come from? Like, oh, he actually caught that? Like, that's the kind of thing that was going on. And honestly, it's okay. Well, Keelan Cole, the cornerback from Oklahoma, 3-star cornerback from Oklahoma, commits. We have Paul Sayer, a 3-star guard, commit to us, as we are going to offer fullback Markel Flowers. And we're going to Cincinnati House because we have the hours. We have the hours, as you guys can see. We have all these guys getting 50 in the house because we have the majority of the people we want. Majority of our class, we have them we want. And we're going to send this on Markel Flowers because they say we need a fullback. And 2, because they're not really doing much on him. And BJ Starks, the receiver, commits to us. So we are looking at a pretty good class next year. And Owen Ostrowski, due to coach prestige, still wants to transfer. I really hope he doesn't. Same with Bill Jackson. I hope they don't, because we had a good year. And honestly, due to coach prestige and everything, we're gonna fire our offensive coordinator and our DC, our defensive coordinator, due to them being C's. So we have a coach prestige of C's around. So what I want to try to do is hire guys with C+ and higher. As we look at the conference championship games now, and the CUSA, it'll be Liberty and Jacksonville State. Big 12, UCF, Kansas State, MAC, Western Michigan, Miami. In the Fun Belt, App State and Louisiana, who's ranked number 12. They can be the at-large team. And the American, North Texas, who we beat, and Tulane, Boise State, and Air Force in the Mountain West. What a fun SEC championship that could be. Georgia and Auburn, ACC title game, NC State and Miami, and the Big Ten championship game. What a game. Ohio State and Michigan. And we're just going to go ahead and look at the, awards right here. People who can win awards. Cam Ward right now, #1 for player of the year. And best head coach, Joe Clay of Louisiana, which, rightfully so. And the best quarterback, Cameron Ward. Once again, we are going to be nowhere on this list. And surprisingly, Alex Orji on that list. Considering that, in a non-virtual world, I don't think they have the best thrower. Best defensive player. I really feel like if Owen Ostrowski was not hurt, he'd be on this list. But top 7, we have Owen Ostrowski on this list. But if Gavin Potter never got hurt, I really feel like he would have been on that list. As best DB, surprisingly, CJ Turner, the redshirt freshman, is number 8. I do believe he got 3 interceptions this year. And he has a bunch of tackles. But CJ Turner, 8th for best defensive back. As Michigan has all the best corners and safeties. It's ridiculous. They're #1 for a reason. My goodness. They're starting safeties. They're starting cornerbacks. And Clemson even has a lot of good players on here. Who's ranked #2 currently. At best running back. Again, we're not going to have anybody here. But, go bigger. It's Michigan who has the #1 running back. However, in the future, we're going to have damn near good running backs. Best receiver, I feel like towards the end of the year, Camden Benjamin and Jeremiah Ballard came into their own. So, it's not surprising that we're not top 12, but I feel like those two came into their own within the last couple of games. Lombardi for the best defensive lineman of the year. We might see Owen Ostrowski here again, but that's it. And Owen Ostrowski is 11. For the senior QB of the year, we don't even have a senior QB, so we're not going to be there. Best DN, Owen Ostrowski is 5th, as Josiah Stewart is #1 for this. But Owen Ostrowski 5th. Owen Ostrowski getting a lot of recognition on the year. And again, Owen Ostrowski risked the transfer. We'll try to stop him, though. We will try to stop him. Best tight end, we definitely have no one here. We didn't use our tight end that much. For best assistant coach of the year, we have nothing. For best linebacker of the year, Gavin Potter would have been here if he did not get hurt in that game against ECU. With his dislocated elbow, it's really, and again, I really feel, I feel like Gavin Potter. Missing him. He was such a good player. It just really sucks that we lost out on him. And Braylon Presley, best damn returner in the land. And they have him as #1, projected to win best returner. And these are just the finalists. We're going to sim the week, and we're going to see the award winners as Cam Ward wins the Heisman Trophy. 3,837 yards, 45 touchdowns, and what that says, 7 interceptions. And here we go, official. Braylon Presley wins Returner of the Year. 58 returns, 885 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And we are going bowling, ladies and gentlemen. Tulsa Golden Hurricanes takes on the SMU Mustangs in a big bowl game there. And that could be fun because that's going to be in Annapolis, I believe. And as we see, here are the offensive coordinator. Here are the offensive coordinators. The hire staff, the potential hires we can make. RJ Turner looking for a head coaching job, and it seems that he's mainly a defensive coordinator. They're offering him a lot of DC jobs, but he's a former head coach of Penn State, I guess. Not Penn State, BYU. I guess he got fired. I guess BYU had a very, very bad year. Or he's the current head coach of BYU, and they're just offering him different jobs. Cobb there, the current offensive coordinator of Miami, Ohio. And we're just looking at everyone here. Brian Crespo. One thing I'm noticing here, everybody's a C prestige. Like, there's really nothing higher. So we're gonna send them. We're gonna send our offer to Brent Cobb of Miami because I like what he had. He is a motivator, and I just liked what I saw there. And because he's part of, you'll see, he has some certain qualifications that I liked from what I saw. Currently the offensive coordinator of Miami University, Ohio. And we're seeing a bunch of different guys here. And these are a bunch of guys who I liked a bunch of these guys, these defensive coordinators. Again though, I'm seeing a lot of C prestige. Even, I think I saw a C minus on some of these guys before. So again, to me, it's like, what does it matter who I hire? A bunch of schools are offering every one of these guys. So to me, you either just find a guy you like, or you go off the guy with the highest level, highest prestige you can find, or do you find someone that can actually help your team if it doesn't really matter? You look for the guy that helps your team, in my opinion, if it doesn't matter, if they're all going to be the same prestige, and if you don't care about level, because, you know, they're going to level up as they go. So what I might, that's how I went after it. I'm like, okay, let me look at your scheme. What scheme can I have the most fun with? And we're going to go ahead and throw out an offer to Landry Wire, because I like the 3-4 defense. Currently, we run a 3-3-5 defense. He's a motivator, and I believe we are too. And this is the results of an early signing day. We have a 12-player class. Whoop, sorry. 13-player class, maybe more. I'm not sure if anyone else committed. So we have a 13-player class so far. As we look at the guys who are on our list remaining, and Stanford has got into the picture for Markel Flowers as they're looking for a fullback as well. Looks like, but other than that, we have a bunch of 3-star guys who are looking towards our way. Joe Quinn Gonzalez, and don't think I added anyone at this point. As we look at the top classes so far, and I do want to see where we stack up in the top classes. I think we could have, I thought we could have a potential at a top 50 class, but right now we're at 56 with 2 4-stars, 5 3-stars, 4 2-stars, 1 1-star. And these are the other results, like the winners of the reward. So Cameron Ward does win best. He wins best quarterback and everything. Like, you guys can see, we'll go through it real quickly because, you know, no Tulsa player is winning. And CJ Turner finished 9th when I'm pretty sure he was 8th at that point when we looked at the pending. So CJ Turner finishes 9th. But again, like this is just so we can see the winners of every award. Will Jackson finishes best DB. And whoopsie me accidentally getting out of it. Will Johnson, best running back Donovan Edwards. And again, we're not going to have anybody on these lists. Trosky finishes 12th. Again, didn't he go down? I think he went down on these lists. Cam Ward, best senior quarterback. Cam Ward winning every damn award, pretty much. Owen Ostrowski, 5th in best DN. We aren't going to have anybody here as interior lineman. Tight end, we're not going to have anybody there. I'm not going to have anybody an assistant at all. And this is just going through the different awards. Lou Garza, I'm definitely not going to have, we did not have a good kicker. Mainly my fault. I punted the ball pretty badly too at some points. And best returner, as we know, Braylon Presley. This is your college football playoff. Pause it if you want. Michigan 1, Miami 2, Kansas 4, as Georgia's 3. And then you can see the other games. And you see that at number 12? See what's at number 12? That was part of my decision of why to go after Miami's OC, because he has playoff experience and everything. Though it's going against Clemson, and they may not win that game. Don't know yet. They might not win that game. But because he's going to have the playoff experience and they've been there before, I wanted someone who's been there. And so we went ahead and offered him. And you know what? They could go far as we look at the other bowl games here. We look at the other bowl games here and seeing what's going on in our college football dynasty. And I feel like this is going to be a fun playoff. I really do. I feel like we have a fun playoff system going on this year. I like the 12-team playoff. And I think we have some pretty interesting bowl games so far. Nevada, Washington State. That's going to be a insane Gasparilla Bowl game right there with UCF and Syracuse. And this is us, Military Bowl against SMU. The American against the ACC. As in, that's what this one is. And another team for the American going against another ACC team. It'd be UAB, who won out after beating us, it looks like. And we're able to finish with a positive record. Which still, that game right there, that game still ticks me off. As we have teams 1 through 4 waiting their matchups. Deion Sanders and the Buffalo go against North Carolina in the Pop-Tart Bowl. But it seems that we had a good, and there's another American team, Charlotte. Actually, Charlotte's not American, are they? They're not an American. Not sure, but we're going to look at all the All-American Americans. We have no National Americans on the first team. No National All-Americans on the second team. Looks like, but you know, I thought freshmen, maybe Kirk Francis had a chance to make the freshman team. No All-Americans on the freshman team. But then I thought, well, maybe the cornerback, CJ Turner. Nah, he didn't make it either. So we go to look at the American and got a little bit of spoiler, the freshman team. So Camden Benjamin is an all-conference, all-American. He makes it as the second wide receiver. All-conference, all-American. Camden Benjamin, his senior year, and proud of him and his accomplishment this year. Though I do think Jeremiah Bell has more yards than him. And as a second-team All-American, All-Conference, Anthony Watkins make it, the senior running back. So congratulations to him. And the junior DN, Owen Ostrowski, makes it all conference, all American, second team. And then let's go to a freshman team. As you guys saw, a lot of people. Kirk Francis makes it as the All-American on the freshman team. I'm not sure how Matthew Ogunrin made it as a freshman All-American. That one interests me, as he only had probably about 3, if even that, catches on the year. But we had our tackle make it. Will Smith played a couple of games this year. So we have some freshman All-Americans on this team. Will Smith should be playing for us a lot next year. Ogunrin should be playing for us a lot next year. And Kirk Francis, I think we found our quarterback for the next 3 to 4 years at least. We'll see. If anything else pops up, we'll definitely see. As we look at their stats right before the bowl game, and then we'll look at final stats after the bowl game. But Kirk Francis, 20 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. A bunch of those interceptions towards the end of the year could have been avoided. Watkins with 896 yards, 6 touchdowns. Bill Jackson's 428 touchdowns, 428 yards, 3 touchdowns. And Kirk Francis actually ended the year with 3 touchdowns on the year. We could have done better rushing yards with him, but that didn't happen. Jeremiah Ballard, 61 catches, 980 yards, and 8 touchdowns. Camden Benjamin, 62 catches, 967 yards, 8 touchdowns. There was a point where we just started focusing them more. Early in the year, Braylon Presley was definitely more involved. I think he was even second in the team in yards at one point, but he has 40 catches, 630 yards, and 4 touchdowns. And then from there, it's just a 5 catches, 82 yards for Ogunrin. Still, I don't know how you made it All-American. But as you guys can see, just after our 3 main guys, the ball didn't get spread around as much as I'd like, throwing-wise. That's going to have to change next year. And I got to figure out what I'm going to do differently. But definitely next year to be changed. We've only had our 2 freshman tackles only allowed 10 sacks this year in the games they've played, so I'm really proud of them for that. And they should be getting more play next year. And I know we have a 4-star tackle coming in. We'll see where he can fit in. But Gavin Potter ended the year 93 tackles, 11 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, and an interception. Potter would have had over 100 tackles. He got hurt in ECU game. He missed USF and FAU, and the majority of that ECU game. Gavin Potter definitely would have led the country in tackles and everything. He probably still does. Shoot, I don't know. Marchesalito, his high school teammate, 81 tackles right behind him. As we just go through our stats, a lot of these seniors have played their own best last of their football is coming up in the bowl game. Miles Jackson, wish we could have done more with him, to be completely honest with you. And just speeding through the rest of the tackles. Tackles for loss, Miles Jackson led us in that with 19 and 3.5 sacks on the year. Owen Ostrowski may have led that as well if he never got hurt. Who knows? I really feel like Miles Jackson, though, he was a big run stopper. I wanted to do more with him, but honestly, unfortunately, we couldn't. Owen Ostrowski, 9 sacks on the year, by far our best edge rusher. Joe Jelly, really like him, 4.5 sacks. Amaya Williams, 4 sacks. Jackson, 3.5 sacks. Kennedy, 3.5 sacks. Vontroy Malone, 2.5 in his limited time playing. So you guys see Carlisle even got 2 sacks. Leading the way in interceptions, New Campbell got 2 that last game, has 4 interceptions. CJ Turner with 3, Marchesali with 2, Jackson with 1, Potter with 1, and DeMarco Jones with 1. Not a lot of turnovers for this team. But having Nunu Campbell only as a sophomore with 4 interceptions, I'm okay with that. Because he's coming back, and I think he got 1 touchdown, 2 as well. 2 forced fumbles for Joe Jellies, 1 for CJ Turner, Marchesa Lee, Owen Potter. A bunch of forced fumbles for this team. Now, recovery-wise, we probably only recovered like 3 or 4 of them. Excuse me, 5 of them. We recovered 5 fumbles. Sometimes deflections, like I just like to look at them because not sure how they track it in this game, but I know in Madden there's been issues with tracking deflections, so we're just gonna look at what, you know, they say. And I know that definitely catches allowed is not gonna be tracked. We need a new kicker, 13 for 23, 56 yards, 56%. Made all of his extra points though. So that's our kicking stats. He wasn't even our kickoff guy. Angus Davis was our kickoff guy, and could have done better than that too. Better punting. Kick return, 25 kick returns, 524 yards, no touchdowns. They longer 95. Should have been a touchdown. Punt return, 33 punt returns, 361 yards and 2 touchdowns on that. And we're just gonna go look at national. Just a quick look at some of the national stats that are presented so far. Braden Strager, 4,100 yards, 34 yards. Dylan Gable, 4,069 yards. And it's just a quick thing you can all look at. One person I did not see. So I think EA has the same issue that they had with Madden. Because I wasn't seeing Cam Ward on that list. But honestly, he could have just been there and I missed it before. I'm too lazy to go rewind and look. But most interceptions, Brandon Sorsby, and then second, Kirk Francis. We have to do better. We have to do better. Because, like I said, most of those interceptions came at the end of the year, where Kirk Francis, rushing-wise, would have looked pretty good. Donovan Edwards, Ollie Gordon are your 2 top running backs in the nation, and other than that, these are just your 1,000-yard rushers. And leading touchdowns, Donovan Edwards with 21, DJ Giddens with 16. And we played against Ragsdale, who also had a pretty good year. Again, let's quick looking at some of these numbers. We played against TJ Jones. I feel like we had a decent game against. We also played against Landon Sands. We also played good against Landon Sides. He only had 1 big catch on us. And let's look through the stats real quick. Those are your 1,000-yard receivers. And we'll even look at more of them. Tez Johnson only with 974 yards, but 13 touchdowns is a lot. Now, that's about like maybe the future of Tulsa. Like, these are some names I maybe want to remember because, you know, maybe somebody wants to transfer. Who knows? Maybe somebody has a deal breaker that they didn't like, and maybe they want to transfer. Owen Otrosky definitely would have led the nation in tackles. He would have had more than 107 tackles. Definitely. Well, he would have been right there. And again, not Owen Otrosky. Gavin Potter. I didn't even see him on the list, if you know he had 91 tackles. So I guess they're not showing everything that can be shown here, which, again, an issue just like Madden. It's fine. It's EA. I don't care. I'm just really glad that we have college football back. But that's a look at the stats so far. And that's what we have for you today. Next time I see you guys, it's going to be our bowl game against SMU, which I'm really, really excited about. I think we can beat them. I think we're 2 equally matched teams. However, leave a like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe for more Tulsa Dynasty.